Good morning. Um, it's dark in here today. um, I don't know. Is it supposed to rain? Maybe. Good morning, Susan and Dora and Deb. Yeah, last day of 2020. Um, I'm not going to be sorry to see this year go. I got to tell you. Although I don't know. I'm not sure why we all kind of magically think that the change of the year is going to make a difference, but I guess it's um, a psychological thing, right? Moving into the new thing, the next thing. Um, so we'll see. Hopefully, um, things will be a little better in the coming year. Um, but we got through it, right? We got through it, and it's been. I when I think about the time that's passed, um, it does seem like a long time, but maybe not as long as it has been, right? I mean, it's been what, like 9 months or so, or 9 months since we had classes. It's a good long time, and it probably will be a bit longer before we have classes again. Um, but that'll it just all depends on how things work out. And if anything that we have learned this year, um, of all the things that maybe we've learned, maybe the most important is this ability. Hopefully, we've developed some of this ability to live with uncertainty. That is kind of a key part of what we talk about in yoga. Um, the changeability of things and the uncertainty of this material world that we are in. Our certainty comes from within. It comes from the self, the big S self, the big L love, right? These are the things that never change. So we put our focus there, put our attention in those places, and observe the rest. Um, I like this idea of uh, how in nature, and we have learned this as well, right? In nature, things are flexible. Trees, plants, um, grass, all of these things are built flexible, strong but flexible to withstand different conditions. And we ourselves have learned that in areas where earthquakes are common, they have a specific way of building tall buildings so that they move um, when they need to. Right? We want to build ourselves this way as well. Um, we want to hold that flexibility. We want to expect the unexpected and not be knocked down. Well, I shouldn't say that. Get back up, right? You will be knocked down. There's no doubt there are going to be things that knock us down. Even people who are the most resilient. Um, we have setbacks and we have things that knock us for a loop, as we say. But we keep going. And, you know, it's like, and I know I've mentioned this before, this idea of unexpected expenses, right? So when you do your budget, you always want to build in a portion for those unexpected expenses, which every single month appear. They may not be the same thing, but to not budget for that is to know that you are going to constantly come up short. So let's budget for that in our headspace as well. Um, Things are going to blow up. Things are going to surprise you. Um, and if you've ever like thought about this and pieced it together, you'll see frequently that they happen kind of at the worst of times, right? There's often this kind of confluence of events um, where it would be nice if, things took their turn breaking or or having problems. But in truth, it seems like, right, we have this saying, it never rains but it pours, right? So um, we have oftentimes when things go wrong, they go wrong in a large way. There could be some kind of domino effect, or it's just, bad luck, right? So be ready, mentally ready for those things to happen, physically ready, right? This is another good reason to have some preparations, right? If, again, this year has taught us to be prepared. Um, Stock up on toilet paper. You're not going to stop using it. I'm not saying you need to buy a warehouse full, but to have an extra, you know, big big pack, it can't hurt. Um, I am often interested to hear about people living in areas of the country where um, they literally can't get to the store large portions of the year. The weather is so unpredictable, or uh, so much snow, so much ice. They're pretty much there. That is a level of preparation that I am I'm in awe of, right? Because not only is it preparation, right? You need the idea to think ahead and to project what you might need, but it's also the ability to make do with what you have, right? So when you're snowed in and you may have, a month's worth of rice and beans laid up, but you really feel like eating, um, I don't know, a Big Mac. I can't really think of what you might love to eat, but something, that you can't get. It really, right? I mean, then we're getting down to what do you need compared to what do you want, and being able to get past those wants and work on what you need instead um, is a great practice. I'm not recommending that you give up all the things that you love, but sometimes it's very empowering to know that you could, to see what you can do without. And, the practice of giving things up at Lent is part of that, right? It is a spiritual practice to know that um, you are not attached to these worldly things, to these goods. You may enjoy them, they may enhance your life, but they are not required. And you are more than um, just a vehicle to enjoy things. There is more going on than that. Um, and sometimes we need a reminder. I think maybe especially after the holidays, when honestly I just feel like a cookie eating machine at this point. Like the whole point of this is just to be able to eat a cookie. Um, and more cookies keep arriving at my house. So a friend dropped some off on my porch, and they're lovely. Thank you very much. But yeah, the cookie eating is going to have to cease at some point. Uh, Usually in January, I've had enough. And then we're gonna head into Lent eventually, and then We'll get back to basics on that. But so on your last day, um, give some thought to some of these things. Um, what might you do to prepare yourself for whatever is coming ahead? We can't see the future, but we can know that the future will have the same requirements as now. Um, we want to be like um, the ant and not the grasshopper, right? The ant is working steadily, and the ant is planning for the future. The grasshopper can't be bothered, right? Mm, he'll be fine. And it will be, right? But it will be finer if you are um, prepared. And we've had, you know, a lot of time to think about this, to think about what we might need to be prepared. So do it. As we've talked about in yoga, this idea of being able to support yourself, being able to um, take care of your physical needs is a really important part of spiritual growth. Um, you can't do one without the other. Right? There is no room for spirituality if you are hungry, if you are living in an unsafe um, place, or afraid of what the next day may bring in terms of your physical survival. That's not to say that you can't have a spiritual life then, but that's got to come secondary, right? We all need to survive for the first part. Um, so get that settled. Make sure you got toilet paper, and then we'll be able to move on. So we talked about this earlier in the week. This idea of finding one thing um, to start, right? Maybe more than one thing eventually, but find one thing that you want to bring into your life this year, or let go of, or maybe one of each. I don't know. I don't want to, I don't want to put too much on you, but you know what you are capable of and what seems reasonable. I would say, keep it reasonable. Don't jump too high, um, because a lot of times that's that's how we get set back, right? We try to do too much, and then we get really frustrated, and then just give the whole thing up. So pick something attainable and stick with it. Every day, give that your attention. Give a little thought to it every day. Um, if it's a goal, if it's something that you're trying to achieve, work on it every day. Set aside a little time every single day. Um, if it's something you're trying to change, a habit, or something you're trying to let go of, every day, think about it and pat yourself on the back. Right. So if you're giving something up, congratulate yourself every day that you succeed with that. And if you have a day that you falter, pick it right up the next day. There's no reason to dwell on our failures, right? Um, just like all sort of positive reinforcement, that's the way to um, get good results. Not getting mad or upset at yourself, but rewarding um, the good, and you know not paying too much attention to the fails, because they're going to be there. They're going to happen. Um, you can't have one without the other. You know, in yoga, it's very much, I think, one of these sort of two steps forward, one step back. Um, it isn't a straight line. It isn't one thing directly after another. There's a lot of other things happening. So be be ready for that, and don't let that discourage you. Um, this is the goal and the work of a lifetime. So we get started, but we really never get finished, and that's okay. There's always more. There's more to do, more to bring in to your life. Um, so it's good. All right. So let's do a little breathing, and then we'll do some asana. Sitting up, relax the shoulders. Notice how everything is feeling. Having that breath in and out through the nose, relaxing the body, breathing down, let the chest and the belly relax and expand. I don't know if you can hear that from here, but I think they're taking a tree down near. It's really loud. So we're just doing natural breath here, and then we're going to move into that uh, shorter inhale, longer exhale. So maybe inhale to 4, exhale to 8. And then just coming back to a normal breathing pattern. Let's drop the chin toward the chest. Relax here. Lifting up the chin, head drops back. Back to center. Take a breath. And then the head's moving over to the right. Keep the shoulders relaxed. Back to center and moving left. Lean forward, move around. One way and the other. Back up, arms wide. Take a deep breath and then exhale, hands together. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Interlace the fingers, lift the hands, and then arms down by your side. Inhale, lifting. Lower. Lift. And lower. Once more. Lifting up. Right hand down. Reach across with the left. Switch sides. Back up. Lift the shoulders. Roll back. And forward. Left hand on right knee, right arm behind, sit up tall. Take a deep breath. Twist. Back to center. Inhale. And twist. Back to center. Walk the hands out. And then back. Let's bring the hands behind you. Squeeze shoulder blades together, gaze up. And we're back up to seat. Bring the soles of the feet together. Sitting up tall and then leaning forward. So if your knees tend to rise up, when you're in this position, you can kind of press them down with the elbows or even bring the hands on there gently. Right? You don't want to be pushing hard, but sometimes just the weight of your hands will help kind of encourage things a little bit. Right? You want to feel a little stretch happening here. Nothing too extreme, but if we are trying to, progress to be a little more flexible, encouraging that stretching is not a bad idea. But again, if you have trouble with this, if this is an area where you feel things are very tight, don't feel like this is the only thing you can do, right? If this is painful or this is difficult for you, other things that we're doing in practice will help with the hip flexors as well. So this is this is a very direct practice, but it's not the only thing, right? There's lots of other things that we do that work the same thing. It just kind of it'll move together, and so um, what I find with my practice, and you may have found this as well, is that sometimes um, poses that give you difficulty, it's actually practicing other poses that make the pose that you're having difficulty with easier. Um, you will notice some shifts in how you're holding different poses, even if you haven't done that pose itself for quite a bit. Um, there is a kind of a synergy to how the body works through these things. So um, it's interesting. And it's a complicated, right? There's so much about our bodies. It's a very complex system. So everything is connected, and everything that we do is of value. Every movement, every effort, right? Let's point and flex the feet. Even something like walking, right? Which seems like such a basic thing. You've been doing it your whole life, practically. Um, it is such a complex movement, and it's so perfectly suited for us. We are uniquely adapted for that. And it is so good for your overall health. It's good for your leg strength, your balance, hip strength, all of these things. Even your upper body, right? That gentle movement of the arms is really good. So um, get out and walk. I'm going to tell you, do it. Rotate, rotate your feet, right? If honestly, if I could tell people one thing that you could do, I mean, yoga is lovely, and I think, asana is really good. It's a great thing. But even if you never did asana, um, I would say walk, right? If you can only do one physical thing, just walk, just do it. Um, Asana and walking, the ultimate, in my opinion, the ultimate way to stay fit, to stay flexible and healthy throughout your whole life, right? Let's walk the hands out. And that's what we're going for. Um, the passage of the year, we are all going to be 1 year older next year. And as I get older, I am more and more interested in things I can do forever. I don't want something that is going to hurt me, that is going to cause me to have a problem. I want something sustainable. And whatever I do, I want to do in a sustainable way. Let's bring the feet a little bit closer and walk it out. Back up, bend the right knee. We're going to bring that foot in close to the thigh. I think my camera's adjusted a little oddly, but you know what I'm doing, right? Turn a little to face this left leg. Inhale, and then exhale, fold. Coming back up. Let's switch. the legs around, turning, and then deep breath, fold forward. And back up. Both legs out in front. Take a deep breath, fold. And then moving back up. Let's bend the knees. We're going to catch a hold of the toes or the feet, balancing, and then maybe extension halfway or further, your choice. And then bend the knees, set the feet back down. We're going to do boat pose. So same kind of thing. You could bring the hands behind the knees here, and we're balancing. You can extend the arms. That just makes it a little tougher. Extend the legs if you want. And sitting back up, soles of the feet together, deep breath, fold forward. Let's do another boat, because why not? So, again, extending the legs. And back down. Soles of the feet to the mat, lowering or rocking back. Getting comfortable here, maybe bump the knees together, feet to the outer edges of the mat. This is just a nice neutral pose. Kind of encourages that lower back to flatten. Arms out to a T. We're going to lower both knees over to the right. Maybe set your gaze left. So I don't always cue it, but whenever you're doing one of these kind of twists, gazing the opposite direction is very helpful. It's more stabilizing for the upper body, right? And you'll feel the difference if you start looking the opposite way. A lot of times your body wants to move, right? The same, or I'm sorry, if you start looking the same way and your body wants to move that same direction that your legs are going. Back to center. Let's hug this right knee into the chest. Left leg is long. And then we can extend the leg. If you want, you can just keep the hands here, or you could reach further up, grab the ankle or the calf, or even the toe. And you'll see, I don't really have a straight leg here, and that's fine, right? You can even have more of a bend if you want. Um, that will give you more ability to bring that thigh in closer to the body. Then this becomes kind of like half happy baby, right? And then if you want, kind of extending that leg out to the side is fun. I know, I probably have a strange idea of what's fun. Also, I'm too close to the wall here, but let's see. If this room were just a little bit bigger, so this little wall here is really just for the closet. Um, and it's nice to have a closet, but honestly, if they hadn't put this here and my room was a little bit bigger, it would have be much better for filming. So what are you gonna do? Bend the knee. Let's switch the legs. And then if you want to extend, and maybe out to the side. Back to center. And then extend both legs long. And relax. Bend your knees here, soles of the feet to the mat, getting ready for bridge or supported bridge. Your choice. Lifting up. If you want to bring a block under, you can. Sometimes it's nice to do a regular bridge if you want that stretch and then do some supported bridge. It's a good combination. I'm just doing supported bridge, so. If you want, you could bring knees into the chest. Maybe extend the legs. And then bring the legs back down. Lifting up. Remove your block. Soles and feet together. Relax and breathe. If you want to bring the arms up overhead, that's great. Some people don't like how that feels. That's fine. Don't do it. Every practice is going to be something new. I only ask that you might try, right? Even something that you feel like you didn't enjoy some time ago, try it again. See how things may have changed. See if it might be exactly what you need today. And then if the arms are up overhead, let's bring them back down. We can extend the arms, extend the legs, and move into Shavasana. And if there's anything you want to do before to help the body feel more restful, by all means, do that. Um, find what is appropriate for today. I like to think of the asana as tools, right? They are tools to get you to this state of peace and calm at the end of your practice. And on any given day, a certain tool may work better than another. Um, there are a lot to choose from. Frequently, and if you've ever done any building or construction, you'll know that you can use the same tool for a lot of jobs, but you can also use a different tool um, for a lot of different jobs, right? So there are maybe three or four different saws that might be fine for any one problem you're trying to solve. The same thing with asana. They are going to go about it a little differently. One may be better one day than the other, but you never know. So trying is your best option. You can always stop, change, do something else. So find that peaceful awareness. Notice the sensations in the body. Feel that sensation of kind of sinking down into the mat, feeling very relaxed and steady. Let the breath be like a wave going through the body, bringing in peace and calm with every inhale. And let the exhale release any worries, concerns, any tensions, or just kind of negative sensations you might be having in the body. Feel them float away with the breath. as we move toward the end of this year, approaching a new one, let us be grateful for the time that we have been given. And let us be resolved to use the time that we have in this next year for the best, to be our best self, to follow those positive impulses, to release any attachments that we have to things that are negative or harmful. And let us all come to a deeper understanding of our true self, our big S self, and our connection to everything and everyone. Moving a bit then, fingers and toes, hands and feet, maybe stretching a bit. And then make your way up to a seat. We'll have hands together. Take a deep breath in and out. Thank you for taking time this morning for yoga, for sharing this time with me and with the rest of us. Um, and I hope you have a very good Thursday, a good New Year's Eve, and um, a pleasant New Year. Namaste. Great. Um, let's do 5-minute meditation. Maybe the last meditation of the year 2000, unless you're meditating tonight. Thank you, Deborah. All right. Oh, I had this queued up. I don't know why I didn't. Okay, so we're sitting up. I already started this. So sit up, breathe, relax. Okay, that felt longer than 5 minutes to me, but I don't know. It's always the same. It just feels different. So I hope you have a good New Year's Eve. I read a little article this morning about a city in, or a town, I guess, in Italy, where everyone is very, very old. I think the median age is like 75 or 80. Um, and they've all decided that they're going to celebrate New Year's at noon, so that they can all get to bed at a reasonable hour, which seems very, very sensible to me. But that being said, I do expect to stay up till midnight and probably drink champagne. So I hope you do whatever it is that will make you have a lovely New Year's Eve. And I am going to be off tomorrow and Saturday, so I will be back to see you on Monday. Enjoy your weekend, and I will see you then.